What would you do if someone tried to take away everything you loved? This is the story of a poor man, a beautiful wife, and a rich neighbor who would stop at nothing to steal her heart. But when love, cunning, and a touch of the miraculous collide, things take an unexpected turn. Once, there was a poor man who was married to a beautiful woman. This couple shared a bond so strong that they never quarreled. The husband loved his wife deeply, and she, in turn, loved him back just as fiercely. Their days were filled with happiness and contentment. However, they had a rich, handsome neighbor who had eyes for the poor man's wife. He admired her beauty and soon became obsessed with the thought of making her his own. "I must marry her," the rich man thought. Every day, when the husband was away working in the fields, the rich man visited the poor man's home. "You are so beautiful," he would say to the wife. "But look at your old clothes. If your husband truly loved you, he would dress you in the finest garments. Divorce him and marry me, and I will buy you the most beautiful clothes in all of Ethiopia." At first, the woman ignored the rich man's advances, but he kept coming back, repeating the same things day after day. Over time, doubt crept into her heart. "Maybe my neighbor is right," she thought. "Why doesn't my husband buy me nice clothes? Maybe he doesn't love me." That night, the woman spoke to her husband. "Look at me, husband. My clothes are old and worn. I want new ones. Please buy me some beautiful clothes." The husband smiled lovingly. "You don't need new clothes," he said. "You are the most beautiful woman in the world to me." The woman's face fell. "Don't you love me?" she said. "If you love me, you would buy me a new dress." The husband, who adored his wife and wanted her to be happy, thought, "I have only a little money, and I need a new plow. But if buying her a dress makes her happy, I must do it." The next day, he went to the market and spent his savings on a beautiful new dress for his wife. When he returned home and gave it to her, she cried out in joy, "Thank you, my dear husband. Now I know you love me." When the rich man came the next day and saw the woman in her new dress, he smirked. "A good husband doesn't just buy clothes," he said. "He gives his wife gold. Where is your gold necklace? Where are your rings? Your husband doesn't love you enough if he hasn't given you those." He opened a box filled with gold jewelry. "Divorce your husband and marry me, and all of this will be yours." This time, the woman did not listen. "Go away," she said. "I love my husband, and he loves me. We are happy together." But the rich man was persistent. Day after day, he came with his box of gold, planting seeds of doubt in her mind. Eventually, the woman thought, "Perhaps he's right. Why doesn't my husband buy me gold? Maybe he doesn't love me." That evening, the husband returned home, tired and hungry after a long day in the fields. The woman greeted him with cold eyes. "There is no dinner for you tonight," she said. "You don't love me." The husband, shocked, exclaimed, "But my dear, I love you more than anything in the world. You are the most precious thing to me." "Then why don't you buy me gold jewelry?" she demanded. A man who loves his wife gives her gold. The husband looked worried. I spent all my money on your dress, he thought. But I must make her happy. The next day, he went to his brother and asked for a loan, promising to work in his fields to pay it back. His brother agreed, and the poor man used the money to buy gold jewelry for his wife. When he returned home with the jewelry, she was delighted. "Thank you, my dear husband," she said, putting on the necklace and rings. "Now I know you truly love me." The following day, the rich man came again. The woman proudly showed him her gold. "My husband loves me," she said. "He gave me this beautiful jewelry." The rich man frowned. "But can your husband perform miracles?" he asked. "If he truly loves you, he should be able to perform miracles. I can do that because my love for you is so strong. Leave him and marry me, and I will show you miracles." The woman was intrigued. "Show me a miracle now," she demanded. "I can't," the rich man said. "First, you must promise to love me and leave your husband." The woman said nothing, but doubt began to take root. That night, when her husband came home, she was sullen. "Dear wife, what troubles you?" he asked. "You don't love me," she replied. "If you did, you would perform miracles for me." Her husband was stunned. "Miracles? Who told you this?" "Our neighbor," she admitted. "He says that love makes miracles." The husband realized the rich man's intentions and thought, "That wicked man is trying to take my wife." First, it was new clothes, then gold jewelry, and now miracles. "What can I do? If I don't make a miracle, my wife may leave me." The next day, he went to his brother's field, feeling defeated. "Only God can help me now," he prayed. "Oh Lord, please help me. I love my wife and don't want to lose her." Suddenly, a wizard appeared under a nearby tree. "I have heard your prayer," said the wizard. "Here are 2 sticks. With the first, you can turn a person into a donkey. With the second, you can turn them back into a human." The poor man was overjoyed. "Thank you, kind wizard." That evening, he rushed home. "Wife, come here," he called. "I am going to perform a miracle." His wife came out curious. He touched her with the first stick, and she immediately turned into a donkey, braying, "Hee-haw." Then he touched her with the second stick, and she turned back into a woman. "Husband, that was amazing. You really can perform miracles." "I prayed to God, and He helped me," the husband said. "Now, I must use this miracle to deal with our neighbor. You will help me." The next day when the rich man arrived, the woman touched him with the first stick, and he turned into a donkey. She led him to the field, where her husband put him to work. "Ah, a donkey," the husband said. "This will make my work much easier." For many years, the donkey carried heavy loads, helped in the fields, and contributed to the couple's prosperity. The poor man grew richer, while the donkey grew old and tired. One day, feeling pity, the man touched the donkey with the second stick, turning him back into the rich man. But now, he was bent and aged, a shadow of his former self. "You tried to take my wife," the poor man said. "That was wrong. Go home, and never look at another man's wife again." The rich man left, never to return. The poor man and his wife lived happily ever after, their bond stronger than ever.